handball shot off the post, score!
First right kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
First right kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
First right kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
First right kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
First right kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
First right kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
First right kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, Throws it back in the end zone. Intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires. Deflected. No. Rebound. Score!
The handball shot off the post. Score!
Gonna try a kick. Goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher. Shot. Score! Cornell down the field. End zone. That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone. Intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires. Deflected. No. Rebound. Score!
The handball shot off the post. Score!
Gonna try a kick. Goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher. Shot. Score! Cornell down the field. End zone. That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone. Intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to more Division I hockey action here in the state of Rhode Island, right here on Fans Only Sports Network. Tonight's matchup between the Mount St. Charles Mounties and the East Greenwich Avengers. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Chris Heatu, joined alongside Jay Costa. Jay, tonight's game definitely going to be telling because Mount St. Charles lost earlier this weekend against Bishop Hendricken by a final score of 5-1, and the East Greenwich Avengers broke a 5-game losing streak last night, taking down the Moses Brown Quakers by a score of 4-1.
Yeah, it's going to be a really good game, Chris. I was fortunate enough last week to watch East Greenwich get absolutely dismantled by LaSalle, and I haven't watched Mount St. Charles in a while, but I know it's going to be a really good game. Last time I watched Mount St. Charles, they played against Barrington, and coming off of a losing streak, like you said, it's going to be very interesting to see how they're going to be playing thus far tonight.
Absolutely. So both teams about to conclude their warm-ups here. And in just a moment, we'll get a moment to meet each and every last one of them. But of course, welcome once again to Fans Only Sports live broadcasted game between the Mount St. Charles Mounties and, of course, the East Greenwich Avengers. If you're interested in checking out more live stream games, go to fansonlysports.com and purchase your live stream passes there. So, warm-ups about to conclude here in just a moment, and we'll get to meet each starting lineup. Of course, if you're looking at Mount St. Charles, I'd say one of the players to watch tonight is, of course, the number 12 of Colton Lawrence. And then, of course, the number 7 of Sonny Arsenault for the East Greenwich Avengers. The Avengers, a team that last year managed to make it all the way to the finals to face the Bishop Hendricken Hawks, only to be defeated in a sweep. And, of course, this year, the roster looking very slim as opposed to last year, and we'll see how they'll be able to take on tonight against a historic team such as the Mount St. Charles Mounties.
Yeah, Chris, like you said, Colton Lawrence is a spectacular player. Another player I like on Mount St. Charles is the number 10, Antonio Lombardi. He had a pretty good game last time I saw him at the Portsmouth Abbey rink against Barrington, I believe. He had a pretty good game, and I'm expecting a little bit more from him tonight.
Absolutely. You have to expect a lot from him. He's one of their leading scorers on this team. He scored the lone goal on Wednesday against the Hawks in that 5-1 loss. So, of course, they're going to be relying along him and Lawrence to be in sync with each other tonight. And we'll get a chance to meet the East Greenwich Avengers. And the return of that speaker sounds really good up there in the press box. And we'll start off with the number 9 of Michael Tober. The 10 of Joseph Andriozzi, another spectacular skater there. Mike Healy, another one who was on that championship team last year. And the 17 of Matt Madden. And right there, the 18 of PJ Casey. And starting in net tonight, the 35 of Noah Shaniga. And so now we'll direct our attention to the left-hand side and get to meet the home team, the Mount St. Charles Mounties. The 11 of Logan Lefebvre. Colden Lawrence, whose name we just mentioned a moment ago. The 9 of Kyle Smolin. The 3 of Connor Souza. 23, Luke Smolin. And then your starter in net tonight, the number 30 of Cale Schneider. And so with that concludes the starting lineup announcements, and we'll take a moment to remember America for the playing of our national anthem. And with that slap of the stick on the ice, that means we are all set and ready to go from Adelard Arena here at Mount St. Charles Academy. Before we get into tonight's matchup, we'll give you the word from tonight's game sponsors. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Joseph Lammy, 696 Reservoir Ave in Cranston, Rhode Island. For consultation and information, visit josephlammy.com. Joseph Lammy, attorney at law. And then finally by RR Elite Recruits, with access to 3,000 schools across 80,000 coaches and 38 NCAA sports. For high school athletes looking to play at the next level, be seen by visiting RR Elite Recruits. Go to www.rreliterecruits.com to sign up for more information. And we'll hit center ice for the opening puck drop here. Both teams looking to get a win and further themselves in Division I. Mounties can continue to climb up into the standings. And we are underway from Adelard Arena. At the top of the zone, it's dumped forward right in front of the Mounties bench. Andriozzi trying to send it back. And now taking it up is Logan Lefebvre. Lefebvre has it poked away, and that time the 17 of Matt Madden pokes it back to the near side. Healy trying to escape the zone, and Andriozzi feeds it to Tober. Tober with an open lane, and he's pushed off the mark as Souza was there to defend. And we'll get an icing call with 14:26 to go. And Jay, that was quite a start to the game right there, nearly a breakaway.
Yeah, good breakaway there, good opportunity. I didn't see too much of that versus LaSalle, so it's good to have a really good start against the Mounties for East Greenwich.
So back in the action, trying to poke it back up to center. Dumas with the feed, that time to Slack. Slack across ice. It'll hit Schneider and wrap around back to the near side. That time, the 25 of Carroll. A chance in front. The puck's pushed into the far end. Trying to break the separation. The puck displaced as it's taken away that time by John Kiernan and sent up to Chase Piscalis. Piscalis bouncing one off of Schneider. He'll take it again behind the back to Sonny Arsenault, who drops it behind that time for the 5 of Cale Dunwoody. Dunwoody back the opposite way. Chasing it down, Cam Souza and Slack all the way past center. A little too much of a lead for Smolin. And the Avengers will get it back to center. Arsenault poked away by Lefebvre. Some good poke checks early as Dunwoody dumps it back down. Souza to the other side to the 23 of Luke Smolin. Smolin cuts it back to neutral ice. Intercepted that time by Carney and poked back up to center. That one off of Schneider. And we've got a delayed penalty coming. And we get an offside call, and we'll face off back at center. At the point of attack, Souza trying to pull the puck away and taken off by the Avengers. Andriozzi to the top shelf, that time to Madden. This one sent down. Lawrence with Healy on his back, and he'll go up to that time the 14 of Maxwell Rusov. At center, Andriozzi back the other way. And Shaniga to stop the puck behind the net. Up towards center. Unintended pass there, Souza. And now Madden right in front of the away bench. Healy. And now going back the other way into the Avengers side of the ice. Mounties will get a line change. Off the back end, Madden. Up to the front. And now Carroll getting tied up as Tober was there. And Souza will slap it up towards Slack. Tober has it poked away. Both sides establishing strong poke checks early, and Slack will dump this in. Dumas. Harrison Dumas trying to get it to Souza, stopping it before across the blue line. That one to the left of Shaniga. And the Avengers will try again. Casey, he'll dump it in. Souza, it's poked away. Defense is right there in front of the net, right from the slot, a chance. And Schneider to stop it as Kiernan took the chance right at the slot. And some extracurriculars going on at the end of that one.
Yeah, this has been a heated game so far. Not too many shot attempts, not too many goal attempts. 2-1 for each team thus far, and there's a lot of emotions going into this game. Every single game I've seen Mount St. Charles play, a lot of emotions between them and their opposing team.
And of course, this late in the season, we're talking just about a month to go until we hit the postseason. So both teams trying to play to be a part of that conversation. And of course, the playoff series this year, a lot different than last year. No longer best of 3. We only have a best of 3 in the quarterfinals. The rest is Frozen 4 NCAA style, a single elimination sudden death. This one tipped in. Shaniga giving it off that time to the 15 of Dorley. Intended for Tober. Souza to meet it first. This one going right in front of Shaniga. Another one coming down off the face mask that time of Madden. Lawrence. Colton Lawrence with possession, getting tied up. Lawrence trying to find the separation, backhands it over the top of the net, and it'll wrap around to the near side. Carroll sending one down. Rusov in chase. Souza to help him out on those backboards. Lawrence, and this one wiped away. Trying to take it back up to center, and Souza gets it as Andriozzi was tripped up. Nope, Healy having it now, and the Avengers quickly dump it in to change lines. Tyler Carroll. It's pushed away off the 11 of John Kiernan. Kiernan, a slap shot. It'll go around all the way down to the Avengers side of the ice. Excuse me. Whew. Casey That one going up towards center. Good separation, a good lead to Pascalis, and Pascalis brought off the mark. Arsenault somehow able to tip it behind there, and Souza over that time to the 23 of Luke Smolin. To Souza, back to Smolin. Smolin cuts it to the middle as he passes up front for the 24 of Massey. And Massey not there as the pass lane was open, and the Avengers will dump it right at Schneider. Smolin. Smolin across ice to Slack, and he'll dump it in. Smolin, and now Dunwoody. Intercepted by Dumas. In the zone, he's checked into the boards. And wrapped around to that far side as Lenny Kiernan will meet it. Sonny Arsenault to help out. Wrapped around the boards. Still in play. And at the top shelf, Jack Potter will send this one down. On the far end, another one off of Shaniga, a save. Smolin to bring the puck down with the glove. Slack getting tied up by Casey. And Arsenault gets it to Dunwoody at center. Dunwoody, a good feed to Carney, led him a bit too much. And a hard check into those boards. The Mounties will clear it to center. Slack dumps it in as they get another line change. Casey. At this point, it's been the longest sequence of the game so far. And we'll finally get a whistle to stop the play with 8:43 to go. A lot of action here so far. Good amount of shots on net so far, Jay, but neither has been able to break through the plane.
You know, they'll get one eventually. One thing I always say when I work these games is they're due to score eventually, especially with the amount of opportunities that they've had.
Oh, no, behind the net. This one sent up, a good chance off of Schneider. As that time it was the 15 of Peter Dorley. Another one coming down behind the cage. Healy. And Schneider couldn't get the glove down in time. Healy takes a chance. Schneider with the save. And it'll go all the way back down to the Avengers side of the ice. And the arms up, icing the call.
You know, Matt, I think that with that save there, Schneider could be up for the Jay Costa Clutch Player of the Month. I'm not sure if Tim's ever told you about that. Something I did last month with him at the URI games, but he's been pretty clutch so far. I wouldn't be surprised if he could come away with it for February with the way he's playing today.
And the face-off down on the Mountie side of the ice after the icing. Souza wrapping around that time to Carroll. Smolin back the other way. Souza trying to backtrack as Arsenault pushes him to the ground. Oh, trying to get Pascalis in the slot, and Souza will take it away. Flipped up to center. Casey trying to play some keep away here as Dumas is on his tail. On those far end boards, this one poked back towards the middle and now given up towards Madden at center. Kiernan, excuse me. Oh, and Slack with a hard open ice hit on Casey. Another one off of Schneider. These teams are getting real physical. Another one coming at Schneider, and he'll somehow stop it. Wow. A lot of hard hockey hits so far on open ice.
You know, hits like that make me glad I play soccer. That really solidifies my fear of being on the ice with these guys. You know, I'm friendly with Prout's Mark Roberts, and he's a hard hitter himself, so I think this really makes me glad I don't play hockey.
I can only imagine being on that floor. I can't skate to save my life. This one back to center. I can just talk about it. This one going right at Schneider again. And Lawrence will take it away. Up towards center, Rusov. He dumps it forward. Rusov gaining some help from his teammates. But it ends up falling dead. Good movement here by the 21 of Nicholas Regnante. Regnante getting tossed off the mark. Lawrence with the hit. Rusov back to center. Another one coming down. This one to Dunwoody. Cale Dunwoody. And intercepted by Smolin. Up towards center. Smolin trying to deflect it to Lefebvre. Back to Schneider, who tosses it to the right. Souza. Checked into the board. Souza. That time to Smolin. Smolin. Over to Rusov. And Rusov up to center to Lefebvre. And Lefebvre has the dump in. New lines coming out for the Mounties. As Carroll comes out trying to keep it in play. That time the 24 of Massey, Michael Massey. And now in the corner, Healy sending it to the far end. A slap shot bounced off the face mask of Shaniga. The 19 of Jack Potter delivered a cannon, and it's somehow saved. A lot of great open ice shots, and a chance in front of the net. To the point to Carroll. Carroll to Potter. Potter tries again, this one over the top. Carroll downhill to the slot. Poke back the other way. Carroll stopping it at the blue line. Carroll across, trying to get it in front for Baxter. And somehow the tension goes down, but maybe some more. Tober off of Schneider again. And now behind the net, into that far end, Arsenault. Another one coming down to the far left. And the Avengers will have to clear it back at center ice. Shuffled that time to Casey. Casey to Arsenault. Arsenault off of Schneider into the protective glass right in front of the net. And out into that far corner. Off the far boards, now to the near. Leading Smolin a little too much. Smolin using the speed. Oh, and Lawrence couldn't get the one-timer. Too much velocity on the puck. Pascalis trying to get it up to Kiernan. Lefebvre off of Shaniga. And the Avengers are dodging bullets left and right. Smolin at center. He'll dump it in. Taken away that time by the 12 of Lenny Kiernan. Wrapped around to John Kiernan. And now up to center. Smolin. Off the boards as line changes were coming. And the ref's unable to tell who is an eligible player on the ice, so play will continue. Casey to Arsenault. Taken away by Rusov. Casey somehow coming up with it again. And deflected away in front of the net for Dumas. And he's pushed off the mark. He still comes up with it. Dumas off of Casey. And this one going all the way back down. And we'll call icing. Wow.
What a sequence, Chris. You know, I'm going to bring a little call back. You were talking about playoffs earlier. Let me just tell you, these teams in Division 1 are very lucky that Portsmouth High School is in Division 2 because the Patriots would win the entire thing by at least 8 goals in every single series.
Yeah, the Portsmouth Patriots having themselves a very good season down in D2. But here in D1, Souza over to Carroll. And now in the corner. Just one deflected up towards near center. To Rusov, to Dumas. Dumas in the open lane. Shaniga will glove that one up cleanly. The Mounties, right now we're looking at shots on goal, 7 of 5. And now the face-off on that right side. Smolin trying to get it off cleanly for Lefebvre and Lawrence as Andriozzi dumps it in for the Avengers. Right in front, nearly poked it right into the net. Tober losing his feeding, and now up to center. Lefebvre from Lawrence, and we get a whistle. So it looks like offsides was the call. And we'll face off back at center ice. 3:17 to go, and we're still scoreless in the first period. Both teams appearing to be pretty dead even in a defensive battle. And this one shuffled to the top of the shelf. Carroll, Healy on his back, trying to gain the separation. Taken away by Mike Tober. Tober takes a shot off of Schneider. This one into the far corner. Now back to center. Madden giving it off to Casey. This one tipped in by Tober into the zone. Nate Murray to meet it. Murray back to Carroll. Carroll to Murray. Murray skates across on the right wing side. 17 versus 17. Chance in front. And the defense right there to clog it up. Kiernan. He sends one off of Schneider. Kiernan to meet it again. Piscalis. And now back up to center ice. Lenny Kiernan. Now to Casey under Arsenault. This one poked in. Arsenault to meet it first for the Avengers. Just about 2 minutes to go, and neither side can break through just yet. Smolin. This one sent off the back of the cage. Kiernan behind the back. A chance in front for Piscalis. And the puck still displaced. Another one coming down. Schneider thinks the puck's out of play, and the refs called it dead. Very fortunate there for the Mounties.
Really fortunate for the Mounties, but Schneider keeping them in this game. You know, he's him tonight, as our boy Nick Carlson might say, Himothy. But, you know, he's had a really good game today. I'm impressed. He didn't have a great game last time I saw him, so this is a big step up.
Back in the action, and Schneider immediately with the stop. Minute 50 to go. And off the faceoff. Smolin up towards center to Lefebvre. Lefebvre leading it up for Lawrence, and it's poked back to center ice by the Avengers. Another tip, and Lefebvre there to assist. Lawrence coming away with it as none of the Avengers seem to make a play on it. Carroll trying to set up a volley. It deflects off the defender back to center. Carroll in his own end to Souza. Across ice to Lawrence. And the Avengers continue to be pesky in this one. Mounties trying to clear the puck. Smolin under Lawrence. And now Dunwoody. Cale Dunwoody using the big body to get around Souza. And Souza pokes it free. But we're going to get a delayed penalty. Looks like we're going to get a hold. And that's going to be charged to the 22 of Cameron Souza. So the Mounties will hit the PK with 1 minute and 1 second remaining in the first period.
That's a really crucial penalty here. I think this is the opportunity that EG has been waiting for. They can definitely net one here. It'll put them in a good position.
And we'll see if they'll be able to break the plane here. This penalty, of course, will go into the second if no score is to happen. Under a minute to go. Arsenault. Sonny Arsenault. Across ice, that time to Tober. Tober with Andriozzi shadowing right behind. Off the back end. Arsenault coming down. This one, he shields it in the zone. Healy. Playing takeaway. Tober, that one off of Schneider. Mounties doing their best to kill the remainder of this clock. Another one coming down. Healy, Andriozzi has Healy in the slot. Has no one to pass to. He'll get it to Arsenault. Stopping it just before the blue line. And this one's going to go out of play into the protective netting with just 16 seconds and 1 minute and 16 remaining in the first.
A lot of action going on there in that series, Chris. It was pretty interesting to see. Good save there and a good heads-up play to keep that puck in front of the blue line to prevent an offsides call. And EG with some great attacking pressure in the end of this first period.
Referees instructing student body to refrain from leaning on that glass. And we're ready to go. Off the face-off, shot wide to the left, off of Tober. Poked back into the zone. Tober with a nice open ice hit. Casey. Mounties looking just to run this clock down. Tober, he's pushed off the mark. Healy couldn't get the extension. Andriozzi. And that will do it for the first period of action. After one, your score is scoreless. And we will take a quick break and let these teams talk some things over. And we'll be right back on Fans Only Sports Network for the start of the second period. In, and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across. for the touchdown!
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Fires, deflected, no, rebound, score! Welcome back to the start of the second period from Adelaide Arena. We're held scoreless after one. 59 seconds to go on the Avengers power play, and we'll see how this plays out. Avengers take the face-off. Arsenault to Tober. Tober to Casey. And getting some help from Andriozzi back in their own end. Arsenault at center, trying to gain the zone. This one bounced off of Healy and dumped in. Mounties doing exceptional in clearing the power play. And the puck displaced behind the net. Healy. And Smolin. Right in front of the net, a short-handed try, and Smolin's chance shut down by Shaniga. But on the short-handed try, it'll be shut down quickly. Andriozzi with only 10 seconds to go through center on the power play. Off the defender. A chance right in front. Tober saved by Schneider. On the near side. And we're back to full-strength hockey. Casey. Using the boards. Lawrence with the dump in. And behind the net, Arsenault to Piscalis. Behind the back. And now towards center. Dumped in by Potter. And Shaniga keeps the puck in play. Tried to glove it down quickly. And the Mounties have to get back on side before they can touch this puck. Piscalis wraps it around two. Had to lay out, and Dumas will take it up for the Mounties. Instead, giving it to Carroll. Carroll. Rusov and him in man-to-man as Kiernan will take it away up to Piscalis. Piscalis at center. Nice move around Carroll. Arsenault didn't know where the puck went. And Potter will come up to clean up. Under the stick of Dumas. He'll poke it to center. Kiernan trying to chase this one down. Lenny Kiernan. Or John, excuse me. No, Lenny, I was right. Off the backboard. Souza sending one down, deflecting off Shaniga. On the near side, Lefebvre. This one going right down to Smolin. And Shaniga will stop that slap shot. Now kind of winding it back a bit. Last night, East Greenwich had 4 straight power plays in a row against the Quakers and couldn't convert on a single one of them. We saw an example of that just now.
Yeah, you know, my source, Tim Duffy, really reliable source, told me that Mount St. Charles has one of the best power kills in the state, and they showed that right there, but East Greenwich has struggled against the power plays going back to even last week against LaSalle. 3 straight power plays that they couldn't convert on either. It's a growing theme late in this season.
That one off of Shaniga as Lawrence took a chance. And now back to center. Smolin trying to chase this down as it gets close to Schneider. as he had Rignante on his back. Arsenault couldn't extend. Lawrence up to center, a good lead to Smolin. Kyle Smolin off of Schneider, a bottle popping goal. Logan Lefebvre lights the lamp for the first time tonight. And the Mounties take a 1-0 lead.
Wow, Chris, that's the definition of being at the right place at the right time. As a soccer player myself, it hurts. I've gotten scored on that way a million times over. But what great placement there. Top right corner, upper 90, able to put it away.
Just a great chance, a wide open alley. And just like that, the Mounties take the lead. At center. This one nearly hitting our official as it's dumped in. Trying to get the puck set. Tober being pushed off the mark. Souza, slack. Now back the other way. And icing going to be the call on the floor. Let's get a word from tonight's game sponsors. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Joseph Lammy, 696 Reservoir Ave in Cranston, Rhode Island. For consultation and information, visit josephlamy.com. And finally by RR Elite Recruits, with access to 3,000 schools and 80,000 coaches across 38 NCAA sports. For high school athletes looking to play at the next level, be seen by visiting RR Elite Recruits. Go to www.rreliterecruits.com to sign up for more information. This one sent down, and we'll just do it all over again. So we'll face off again to the Mountie side of the ice. 11:52 to go in the second, and they lead it 1-0. Slack up towards center. Rusov underneath to Dumas. Dumas trying to toe drag it, and Casey will take it away defensively with the dump in. This one up to center. Rusov under the stick of Dumas as he's taken off the floor. Another dump in. Dunwoody. Carroll to Rusov, and now back to Carroll. Carroll, nice toe drag swag, and that one knocked away. But he'll still hold on to the puck, and bounced into the zone once again. Carroll trying to get it over to Murray, and Shaniga was ready for it, but his defense there to assist. And Souza trying to chase this one down, and we're going to get an icing call with 11 solid minutes to go in the second period.
Never feared for my career more
And that one, Murray off of Shaniga, and it'll come back to the near side. Off the side end. Now back to center. Smolin to dump it in. Mounties on side as the Avengers will clear it to center. That time Massey, and now the 5 of Baxter up to Souza. Souza. This one deflected all the way to Shaniga, and he'll stop it, keeping it in play for Kiernan. Lefebvre, who had the goal earlier, Lawrence, and now Souza, right into the stomach of Shaniga.
You know, I have to say, Chris, compared to Barrington last night, Mount St. Charles has some really great song selection. I'm really impressed with how well they've done picking out good songs for tonight.
Got to thank the student body of Mount St. Charles for that one. Off the rip. This one sent all the way back to the top of the zone. Lefebvre has it. Lefebvre trying to make it 2 for 2. And he stopped cleanly. Tober, some good movement. Andriozzi can't stay on the mark. Smolin off the glass to center. Lawrence Across ice, that one into Shaniga's shoulder, and we'll stop play.
You know, one thing I have to say about the music, though, Chris, is there's a distinct lack of Taylor Swift. As a Swiftie myself, I'm missing You Belong With Me a little bit. They need to play a little bit more Taylor Swift in order to get me hyped up for this game.
Yeah, you're a few years off from feeling 22, my friend. That's going back up to into the action. Carroll off the boards. Dumas behind the cage. Dumas getting wrapped all the way down to the floor, and that's a definite penalty coming against EG. And, of course, the Bad Boys song being played from Cops. A hold going to be called against the 18 of PJ Casey. So now the Mounties, who are already up 1-0, have a chance to get a power play goal here.
Yeah, great opportunity for them, and I have to say Mount St. Charles is coming into my second favorite student section I've seen in a while.
Back to center and dumped all the way down as Schneider gives it off for Smolin. Carroll, now Arsenal will give it up to Smolin. Lawrence, and he'll dump it in. Smolin up against the boards. A lot of snow building up against those far boards as the puck just is unable to find a home. Up to the top of the zone to Carroll, to Lawrence. Lawrence back to Carroll, in at the point, nearly deflecting into the net. At the top shelf, Lawrence tried to stop it with the skate. Pascalis trying to set up a shorthanded try off of Schneider, a save. 1 minute remaining on the power play, and we get an icing call against the power play unit.
You know, this power play, a really good opportunity to see what East Greenwich is made of. I haven't seen too many times where East Greenwich has been on a power play, so this is really interesting.
Hey, you got what you asked for. Or no, you didn't. You got some Miley Cyrus instead.
I'll take a little Miley Cyrus. It's no Katy Perry or Taylor Swift, but it's good enough.
Yeah, we will not leave this building until we get some T Swift in this box. Andriozzi around the back to Lefebvre. Lefebvre cuts it back to the inside, and it'll come back to center. Slack over to Souza. Souza has Tober, who's really trying to shut him down here. Rusov, and now Souza. Dumas leading it for Rusov, and it's cleared one more time by Madden. Schneider to stop it with not much time remaining on the power play. Under 10 seconds to go. Dumas. Mounties need to get set, and it's dumped in. And the power play has come to a conclusion. We're back to full-strength hockey. Tober. Back the other way. Healy the first to meet it. Breakaway try. Score! Mike Healy ties things up with 7.5 minutes to go in the second period. And we're all knotted up once again, ladies and gentlemen, at one apiece.
Oh, come on, man. That's got to be cheating or something. Came out of the box, and he's already on the other side. Wide open breakaway, a 1-on-0, and that's routine for him. I've seen him put those away countless times.
Hey, you're a soccer guy. We all know that if you're ahead of the defender, that's an offsides right out of the gate. I mean, hey.
Oh, 100%. That's grounds for a 2-foot slide tackle right there, if you ask me.
Arsenal will dump it back in. We're all knotted up here from Adelard Arena. Behind the net, Healy to Casey. This one off the right side. Pascalis the other way, trying to get it to Arsenault. Lawrence. And too much of a lead, Carroll. Up to Smolin, and it's back at center. Under the legs for Lefebvre. Lefebvre to Lawrence. And Lefebvre somehow still holding on to the possession. But on the near side, Lefebvre trying to bring it under Madden to the top. Carroll with the shot. Shaniga with the save. Things just got a lot more interesting, Jay, here with that evened up.
Yeah, you know, this is the kind of thing that's really beneficial for the sport of hockey, especially in Rhode Island. Really competitive games like this boost the watchers, boost what the fans see, and it really makes everyone enjoy the sport even more for a sport that I generally find kind of boring, you know?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And now the face-off. On the far end. Poked away from Dumas. Off the backboard. Now up towards center. Off the skate. Rusov. And back to center one more time. Tober kicking the puck with the skates as his stick was dropped. And he'll go and retrieve it. Behind the net. They need some serious help. And they get it from Lenny Kiernan. Up towards center to John Kiernan. Under his stick. And Smolin to take it away. Behind the back from Souza, Andriozzi playing on the mark. Souza. Kiernan trying to lead it in front for Andriozzi, and a great stop by the defense. Murray off of Shaniga to the near side. Andriozzi across ice under the skates of Tober. Over to Slack. And we will do it back in the Mountie side of the ice with under 5.5 to go as icing is the call on the floor.
You know, Chris, something I have to say is the Kiernan brothers and the Smolin brothers both have really good chemistry, something I really commend for them because myself and my brother, chemistry's not too good on the soccer field, so what they're able to do and put that brotherly rivalry aside is impressive.
It is very impressive to say the least. They're here to play as one unit, and we're seeing that performed tonight from either side, of course. We'll get some whistles there, and back in the play, and we'll just stop it really quick after 2 seconds exactly as Schneider makes the save. Take 2 of that one. We're back in the action. Another one coming at Schneider. That one nearly stopped. Off the 21 of Nick Regnante. And Lawrence sending it to Smolin. This one dumped in. Behind the net. That time the 5 of Dunwoody. Trying to lead it for Dunwoody. And Lefebvre across the shelf to Kyle Smolin. It's poked away that time. Great defensive measure by Matt Madden. And at center, now on the Mountie side of the ice, Dunwoody trying to play keep away from 2. And Smolin leads Lefebvre. Lefebvre off of the back end. Madden. Lawrence, a hard wrister, and it cuts back around. Potter sending one down. Potter leaving it in the middle, and it'll come all the way back down to the other side. No icing. Smolin gets it to Lefebvre. As it dumps around to the near side. Trying to exchange possession. It'll cut back to center. Souza with the dump in. Madden under the skates over to Kiernan. At center. Giving it up to Chase Piscalis. Off the backboard under the wickets of Shaniga. He didn't see it for some reason. And now Nate Murray. Under 4 to go. Trying to lead a man. Shaniga. Very smart decision and awareness to stop that play.
You know, compared to the game I saw last night with Tim, that was a really good effort by Schneider to know exactly where the puck was to make sure he didn't kick it in his own net. In the Barrington game last night, both Barrington and Smithfield's goalies had known goals, so really good there to track the puck.
Back towards center, over to Tober. Tober trying to get a lead. Tober takes the chance and it'll deflect off the far side. Schneider there to make the save. in that corner. Healy. And one coming off of Schneider again. Trying to gain some separation. Dumas with a good check. Healy has Smolin on his back. And a hard hit at center. This one's sent back over to Kiernan, to Healy. Souza, excuse me. Under the wickets that time of Dorley. And Dorley back up to center. Healy taking it away. Great pass to Tober, who whiffs on the one-timer. Lawrence for Smolin. Snow caught the puck right in front of the bench. It's always been a problem here at Adelard is that snow buildup on that home side. And sent all the way back. And we'll do it again. Icing. And off the face-off. Puck sails back to center. And now Piscalis gets it onside somehow. Arsenault off of Schneider. Piscalis behind the back. Piscalis being pushed off the mark by Carroll, still holding on to it. And the defensive pressure too much. Lawrence leading Smolin. Smolin trying to gain the zone. Underneath for Lefebvre, and a great stop by the Avengers defense. At center, Carroll. Taken away by Arsenault, and it's left lazily in front. And given off for Piscalis. Across the shelf, right in front. That was a good chance for Baxter. And now Souza. Sends it towards Shaniga one more time. Under a minute and a half to go. And we get a whistle called. It's going to be a cross-check. This penalty going to be charged to the 7 of Sonny Arsenault. And that's a player that you can't lose. As well as Cam Souza heading to the box. So it looks like disciplinary measures have been made against these two.
Yeah, I'd have to agree, Chris. Arsenault is such a skilled player, and to have him in the penalty box is a crucial mistake on his part. You can't be doing that. And, that's something that a lot of these high school guys get themselves into. The emotions run a little too wild, and they'll make a dumb penalty, and something like that happens.
And we'll see if this affects anything for either side. This one wrapped to the top. Healy trying to gain ahead of Smolin. Healy takes the chance. Schneider, poof, right in the chest. That'll stop play. Yeah, really throwing it back to my days in high school with some Macklemore. Minute 15 to go. Tober whiffs on the chance as he was tied up. At center, Tober with the hit on Smolin. 9 versus 9. 9-on-9 violence, I should say, right there. Nearly a breakaway try for Tober. Piscalis Casey right in front. Andriozzi, excuse me. Tober taking the chance. Schneider standing up as the puck stays in play. Souza to Lefebvre. Back to center for Smolin. Behind the back for Lawrence. And off the protective glass, still in play. Back to center the other way. Piscalis slaps one slowly. Under 30 seconds to go. Lawrence. Right in front. Schneider couldn't stop the puck. Still on the Mountie side of the floor. Piscalis tried to lead John Kiernan in front of the net. He couldn't do so. Murray gets it to Lefebvre. The connection. Shaniga will make the stop with 6 seconds to go. Wow. This one really getting into the nitty-gritty.
You know, they took it back with Macklemore, and they took it even farther back with Eminem, Chris. The music taste has been impeccable.
And back up to center. And that will do it for the first two periods. 1-1 the score after the two of them. And we'll let these teams talk things over. And we'll be back for the start of the third for some discussion. You're watching Fans Only Sports Network. In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In, and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In, and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In, and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In, and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In, and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In, and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In, and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post,
high kick. Goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher. Shot score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Comes in, fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher. Shot score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Comes in, fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher. Shot score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Comes in, fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher. Shot score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
And welcome back to the start of the third period here on Fans Only Sports Network. We're all knotted up at one apiece between the East Greenwich Avengers and the Mount St. Charles Mounties here from Adelaide Arena. Regulation about to expire. And of course, we're still at a tie, and if this continues, we will head into an overtime period. Well, let's see how things finish off. And we're back underway as the puck's sent up ice. Dumped back in the opposite direction. At center, Lefebvre trying to gain the vantage on Andriozzi. Tober trying to get the puck set in front. Smolin with the takeaway. It's poked away, and Tober has it. Trying to get it to Healy, and Lefebvre gets a little tied up and tripped. Andriozzi keeping the action. Lefebvre behind the net. Slowly creeping ever so slightly towards it. Now back up to Smolin. Through center. Andriozzi getting hit in the open floor. And the puck's dumped back in. Souza. Connor Souza. As he brings it across. That time Piscalis or Casey. And back to center. Kiernan. Across to Dunwoody, who again didn't get set in time. And now Smolin up to Slack. Slack. And we get a late whistle for an offsides call. Let's get a word from tonight's game sponsors. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Joseph Lammy, 696 Reservoir Ave in Cranston, Rhode Island. For consultation and information, visit josephlammy.com. Joseph Lammy, attorney at law. And by RR Elite Recruits, with access to 3,000 schools and 80,000 coaches across 38 NCAA sports. For high school athletes looking to play at the next level, be seen by going to RR Elite Recruits. Visit www.rreliterecruits.com to sign for more information. This one bounced off of Shaniga, who's in the net, as Souza sent it all the way from center ice. And they'll dump it back in. Slack. takes the chance. This one over the top of the net to the right. Taken away by Piscalis. Piscalis wrapped around to the far end, a broken stick on the floor. Slack. Now Piscalis. Backhands it and taken away by Dunwoody. The lead to Sonny Arsenault. Arsenault takes the chance and Schneider will stop play. The weather getting ever so chilly. Of course, many of you might have seen Mount Washington last night at wind chills of up to negative 108 degrees. Of course, we're in to see some warmer days up ahead. Of course, the last couple nights have been rather chilling for all of us here on the network as we've been nonstop broadcasting hockey games, rain or shine. It doesn't matter, we've been there. Across to Souza. Now back to center for Lawrence, dragging the puck around. And he gets it to Smolin with a nice dump into Lefebvre. Bouncing off the skates, Kiernan, and it's dumped back in off of Smolin. At the top. And Smolin couldn't come away with it. Dunwoody. This one off of Schneider and into the protective netting, out of play. And now for the face-off. Andriozzi took the shot right out of the gate, and this one coming all the way back down, and we'll do it all over again. Another one coming down off of Schneider. Healy. Slack to put the stick in the way. Tober behind the cage. Andriozzi behind the back for Healy. Healy puts it in front, and Andriozzi couldn't backhand it to Tober in time. Rusov giving it off to Dumas. Rusov off the boards to Carroll. Carroll with the shot off of Shaniga and off the rebound. It was a good save, and the Avengers dodge a bullet there. Tober up to center to Healy, who dumps it in. Avengers get a line change as well as the Mounties. Carroll, that time to Massey. That time was Baxter. Carroll at center, and now the 15 of Dorley will dump it back in. Murray, Nate Murray, up towards center for Potter, under the legs. Now for the 5 of Baxter. Around to the near side for Regnante. Another one coming down, right into the glove of Shaniga as he stops it. And the puck going all the way down, no icing. Souza trying to gain the advantage on Arsenault, and Smolin has it. Luke Smolin back to center, and another onside play. Casey wraps around to the near. Murray. Piscalis taking the chance. Oh, and a save there. That time Baxter had Lawrence in the vicinity, but the puck moved too much out of the way, and we'll get an icing call. We'll step aside for a moment and get a word from our sponsors at Precision Home Lending.
Want to close your home purchase or refinance faster? Contact me, David Delbonis, at 401-487-7379, President Precision Home Lending. Trust the experts and we'll make your loan experience amazing.
And back into the action. Polk being pushed around. Puck being pushed around a whole bunch. Taken away that time by Lefebvre. Lefebvre winding off of Shaniga. A great save. Another one coming down off of Shaniga. And another chance trying to get set in front. Lawrence and Lefebvre, 2 tied up. And another one coming down off of Shaniga in that near corner. It's wrapped around to the far end for Smolin. Smolin downhill towards Lefebvre. And coming back for Carroll at the top. This one nearly going through the wickets of the defender. And back to the near side. At center, Lawrence. Now back on the near side boards. A whole lot of pushing and shoving. And taken in. A good chance. Shot. Score over the top of the net. Kyle Smolin finally breaks through the tie, and the Mounties retake the lead with 9:14 to go in the third period.
Wow, Chris, what did I just come back to here? A really good game, and what a goal right as I sat down.
What a play, and just like that, the Mounties are back on top. And of course, Jay Costa back in the box now at this point, but big thank you to him, treating me to some nice, delicious hot chocolate courtesy of Adelard Arena. It's definitely some stellar hot chocolate, to say the least.
You know, they don't call me the delivery boy for nothing.
I guess it's better than Adam Sandler's The Water Boy on that far end. Getting past Slack towards Casey. Slack underneath. And taken away by Piscalis. Wrapped around to the far end. Smolin sends another one down. Smolin at the top shelf to Souza. Souza rips one off of Shaniga. And the save, Shaniga will manage to stop the play from continuing. 8.5 to go. Back towards center, Kiernan. This one deflecting off the glove of Shaniga and Carroll. Now back to the top shelf. Lenny Kiernan. That time to the 17 of Matt Madden. Back to Madden. Regnante and Tober. Tober has Murray on his back. Nearly a hard hit by Murray, and Murray will take the puck away. That one off of Shaniga. And a tough save made. Souza right at Shaniga, another save. Now I must say, Jay, late in this third, you got to talk about East Greenwich potentially calling a timeout soon to draw something up and potentially pulling Shaniga soon.
You know, up until maybe 2 weeks ago, I didn't even know timeouts were even a thing in hockey. So I think that it might be really important for them to call one. Definitely pull Shaniga because an extra man on the ice is extremely crucial to get back into this one.
Back in the action, Shaniga will stop it cleanly one more time. Smolin winds up this one off of Shaniga again. The Mounties have kept it in the zone very aggressively. East Greenwich struggling to remove the puck from its own territory. Tober and Healy trying to fight for it with both Smolin brothers on their tail. And Souza will come up with it. Casey. Piscalis now back the other way. And Luke Smolin. Piscalis to lead Healy. And Smolin to his brother. Or excuse me, Souza. Smolin with it here. Thought Lawrence was still in the play, and the Avengers will take possession. Up to center. And a little bit of a lead. And it's dumped in. Souza back to center as Casey sends it down again. Kiernan. That one off the post. Rusov. On the near side. Trying to get a chance. Setting it up in front. Shot. Score! And the Avengers break through and tie things up again. Give credit to the goal that time to the number 11 of Lenny Kiernan, John Kiernan.
You know, Tim always says that I say this way too much, but this might be the best high school hockey game I've ever seen. I think I've said this literally every game I've done ever for Fans Only Sports, but what a good game it's been so far. A lot of action, Chris.
Just a great setup right there. Kiernan was right in front of the net. Just an excellent feed from the three of Garrett Carney. And the Avengers keep themselves in the conversation. Under 6.5 to go and plenty of time. Arsenault, it's poked away. Lefebvre trying to lead Smolin, and it looks like we're going to get the icing call we were expecting. Huh? Now for the face-off. Avengers trying to use the momentum to their advantage, but that's not a way to do it. Lefebvre to Lawrence. Lawrence behind the back for Lefebvre, and he wasn't ready for it. Casey. Casey, they tried to set it up again. The Mounties read it cleanly. Lefebvre taken away by Healy. Healy with the dump in. Now off that far end, Lawrence trying to lead Smolin. And taken off by Lenny Kiernan. Dumped into the zone. Smolin around the back for Souza. Souza to Smolin. Smolin takes it to the inside, and Shaniga stopped it on the threshold of his shin pad somehow. Wow.
What a spectacular save. You know, I think if you were out there, you would have scored that, Chris, but a good effort there by the Mounties attack.
Giving me too much credit there, please. 5:11 to go in the third period, and we're still knotted up at 2. After a John Kiernan goal, the Avengers managed to tie things up. Andriozzi to help out Arsenault, and it's dumped the other way. The hands are up. We'll do it again, icing. Off the face-off. Puck trapped up against the far side, and Casey will come away as the puck became displaced at center. And icing called right away.
I will 100% take this. Look at Katy Perry there. We know it's not Katy Perry. It's Taylor Swift.
No.
No?
I don't even know who sings this song, if I'm being totally honest.
Oh, that's Carly Rae Jepsen. I'll take that, though.
We'll talk to our people in New York and see if they can find out for us. This one to Souza. Souza, gloved up by Shaniga. It's all good. Casey using the back end. Smolin at neutral ice. Behind the back, trying to get it to Dumas. Healy will disrupt that, and Arsenault will dump it in. Smolin to Souza. Souza whiffing on the pass. Healy trying to lead Arsenault. Nearly intercepted. That one intercepted. Healy tries the rebound off the backside. On the far end at center, Casey dumps it back down. It misses everybody. Still in play. Souza to Smolin. And it's poked back in. Another one coming down. All the way back at Shaniga. Icing one more time.
You know, I thought maybe with Carly Rae Jepsen we were getting a little closer to Taylor Swift, but the student section decided to take it in the complete opposite direction.
No.
They went with Flo Rida instead.
They keep shifting it on us.
This might be the most old head high school student section I've ever witnessed.
I know. There's not really a lot of new wave stuff like we're used to, but I'll take it.
A lot of stuff from when you were in high school, right, Chris?
Yes, yes. So I say every time. Off the face-off, Tober. Whiffs on the shot. On the near side, Carroll. And now Piscalis. Carroll through center, trying to lead Lawrence. Too much of a lead, but Lawrence is trying to make for it anyways. Tober. Underneath, Lefebvre. Lefebvre into the stomach of Shaniga. And that reminds me, Jay, we haven't called Antonio Lombari's name, and I believe it might be due to a suspension potentially from last week.
You know, that could be it. That's my bad. A little Tony Romo there didn't do enough preparation, but you know, next time I'll be a little better. I didn't realize he was suspended.
3:20 to go when we might find ourselves in an overtime period if no score is found. And we haven't crowned a victor by the end of 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Back towards center. Healy dumps it in. That time Potter. And shuffled across Smolin. He'll deflect it into play for the Mounties, and Carroll will do the same. Lawrence. Now Kiernan. Taken away by Carroll. He keeps it in play. Lawrence. A chance for Smolin! And the Mounties do it again. They let it tie up, but they take the advantage late in this one. Score now 3-2 off the back of the number 9 of Kyle Smolin.
Smolin took matters into his own hands. He said, no need for overtime. I want to end it now. And he scored, putting the pressure on the Avengers. And like you said earlier, we could see Shaniga getting pulled out sometime later in this period.
So, of course, Schneider, the man in net tonight, we will probably see him pulled soon. East Greenwich still has not called a timeout, which is quite surprising.
We'll call one in the next few minutes, Chris. I can already feel it.
And they'll face off at center. As the puck hits the floor, it's just a back and forth as the puck can't find itself a home. Dunwoody, and taken away by Lefebvre. Lefebvre with the flip to center. Underneath, Dunwoody. This one hitting the backside. Smolin behind Souza, behind the net. Back the other way. That one right in front of Schneider, who has to stop it quickly. So if you're East Greenwich right now, Jay, what are you trying to draw up here with the game on the line right now, and you need to push it to OT?
All right. This is what I like to call the cheese play, something I do a lot in NHL 23. What you do is you bring your right winger all the way up to the post and pass it across to your left winger and let him tap it in. Always works. Trust me.
And there's the timeout we've been waiting for. East Greenwich calls a timeout, and we'll take a timeout ourselves. We'll be back in just a moment for the conclusion of this one between the Mount St. Charles Mounties and the East Greenwich Avengers. Score, Mounties 3, Avengers 2. And oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Johnson fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
And oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Johnson fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
And welcome back for the final push of this one. Mounties lead the Avengers 3-2 with 2:15 to go in the third. Avengers on the doorstep potentially of tying this one up. Back underway. And the empty net already set for East Greenwich. Casey trying to play some keep away. Lawrence, he's pushed off the mark at center. Sent the other way for Tober, and we're going to get an offsides call.
Little overzealous there, over the line too early, and it'll be a face-off in the neutral zone.
And now for the face-off. Taken away by Arsenault. Casey pokes it back to center for Andriozzi. And the Avengers will bring it in. Taken away by Lefebvre. Wraps it around the near side. Behind the back. Lawrence back to center. Smolin, he can end the game right here with an empty netter. And they're going to get a penalty drawn. And the Avengers are caught right there. That's an obvious trip.
You know what, Chris? I'd have to say that was necessary. It's either draw a penalty or get scored out and go down by 2. And, you know, a two-goal lead, dangerous in every sport, but with only 1:34 left, it's not realistic to come back from. It's a smart take right there to draw the penalty.
PJ Casey sent to the box for a trip. And now 4 skaters are only out on the ice for the Avengers. They're still probably going to have to pull Shaniga anyway to give them any type of chance. 1:34 and 2 minutes against them, down 3-2. Face-off taken immediately towards the net. Arsenault. And he'll dump it forward. And it'll stay in play. Carroll. Carroll back up towards center ice. Souza. Likely just going to let this one run itself out. Carroll to Souza off the boards. The Avengers will dump it away. Schneider to stop it for Carroll. And they've pulled Shaniga from the net. 5 skaters on the floor. Carroll to Smolin. Poked away from Smolin. Carroll again. Up ice. And puck still in play. Taken away that time by the 15 of Dorley. And now underneath. That time intended for John Kiernan. And missing the net by just a mutt. And the coaches of EG are calling for an icing. And this one coming back to Arsenault. Not much time to go. Arsenault takes the chance off of Schneider. A great defensive effort by Lefebvre. This one off to the far right. 15 seconds remain. And that one goes right into the Mounties bench. Nearly taking the head off of Dylan Hanna. With only 12 seconds to go.
Here we go. It's Taylor Swift, Chris. She's arrived.
She is here. She made the trip from Newport. Or no, Westerly. Westerly. That's what it is. She came up from her McMansion just to perform.
This is exactly what East Greenwich needed. A comeback could be in the cards.
We'll see if they can do it off in 12 seconds. And this face-off sent all the way back. Icing. They're going to do it all over again with the 8 seconds to go.
This is an absolute banger, Chris. I'm so satisfied now that they finally played it. You said we weren't leaving here until they did, and they finally did.
They finally, someone must have heard you. Off the face-off, Andriozzi sends one down. Healy couldn't backhand it. Back to the near side, and that will do it. The horn will sound. And your final. The Mount St. Charles Mounties defeat the East Greenwich Avengers by a final score of 3-2. And Jay, what a game it was.
Yeah, it was a really good game, and I think the Smolins didn't want overtime, linking up and getting that last goal there to end this one. And I'm kind of glad because I think it's a crime that overtime doesn't end in a shootout. So really lucky that we did get a result tonight. And it was a great game. I was really satisfied with how it turned out.
So the Mounties move themselves up back closer to 500. And East Greenwich continues to fall down in the standings. Their chances of making the postseason are coming down to slim to none. So they're going to need to ignite a flame these next few weeks. But for the Mounties, nothing but hopefully smooth sailing for them for days ahead. But for us, that'll do it for tonight. From Adelard Arena, Jay Costa and color commentary, I'm Chris Hetu. We'll catch you all the next broadcast, and stay warm. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.